Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating, somewhat cinematic exploration of the hidden psychological struggles of a highly intelligent mind. We often glorify genius, right? We think it's just this incredible superpower, a golden ticket to an easy life. But today, we're pulling back the curtain on the source material to explore a comprehensive list of all 8 unique and honestly pretty exhausting burdens that come with having a brilliant, constantly running brain, from small talk boredom to the intense pressure to succeed.
Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. When you actually let that sink in for a second, it perfectly sets the introspective mood for our journey today. It's not just an inspirational quote you'd see on a poster. It's practically the foundation of the invisible barrier that separates a highly intelligent person from the everyday world around them.
Section 1. Defining true intelligence. So, what is it really? Well, before we can even begin to understand the struggles, we first got to dismantle what society mistakenly thinks intelligence actually is. Because, let's be real, society absolutely loves a number. But intelligence, it isn't as simple as an IQ test score. Even one of the absolute most brilliant minds in human history, Stephen Hawking, thoroughly denounced the validity of simple test metrics. It's a multi-dimensional construct, guys. It simply cannot be flattened down onto a single sheet of paper. So let's dive right into this definition. True intelligence is all about analyzing concepts and then building upon them to form a much better understanding of how the world is connected and, honestly, why things are the way they are. You can basically think of a highly intelligent mind as this complex, relentless engine that is just constantly analyzing the world. It literally never truly turns off. Section 2. Navigating the social divide. Navigating friction. So what actually happens when you take that relentless mental engine we just talked about and drop it straight into a normal social setting? Well, it creates immediate friction. It's a pretty common trope in movies, right? The awkward nerd staring blankly in silence. But get this, it's actually backed by science. According to a 2015 study by Davidson, people who possess a high IQ, meaning high analytical intelligence, often tend to have a lower EQ, or emotional intelligence quotient. Life is just full of trade-offs, and sometimes the very thing that makes you brilliant at analyzing abstract data makes it incredibly difficult to navigate everyday human relationships. And this builds into a rapid domino effect pipeline. It starts with struggle number 1, being entirely bored by small talk, which naturally leads right into struggle number 2, socially awkward interactions, simply because you aren't practicing those pleasantries. That naturally causes struggle number 3, a profound struggle to make true friends, often because people feel a bit intimidated. And finally, that drops you right into struggle number 4, severe isolation and overwork. You just retreat from the social world entirely and throw yourself into your academics or your career. Looking at that pipeline, it brings up a really painful question. If it's your intelligence that's driving people away, should you just dumb it down for acceptance? It is an incredibly lonely reality to realize that your natural state is intimidating to others. You crave connection, for sure, but you really don't want to sacrifice who you fundamentally are to get it. Section 3. The restless analytical mind. Internal friction. Now we're shifting our narrative inward, because the social friction, that's really only half the battle. Let's look at the intense, nonstop friction happening right inside your own head. This brings us to struggle number 5. You are incredibly careful with your words. Many smart people tend to think way more than they speak. If you're going to share a thought, you're considering it from every possible angle first, backing it up with rationale and logic. But all that internal preparation means there are long silences in conversations. And people mistakenly read those silences as you being overly serious or reserved, when in reality, you're just constructing your thoughts carefully. Now, have you ever heard of paralysis by analysis? Because this is struggle number 6, and it happens when you are absolutely crippled by the need to find the single most correct answer. Your brain is just racing, trying to make the absolute best decision. You are finding so many angles, the pros, the cons, the endless variables. You're pulling in so much input, evaluating every single potential outcome, and it is all just crashing together inside your head, completely clogging your output, leaving you with nothing but indecision. It is such an exhausting trap. You can literally be the smartest person in the room and still feel entirely stuck just because you overthink everything.
And then there's struggle number 7. Your mind constantly craves exercise. It essentially has the munchies. You always need to engage your brain, make a new discovery, or stretch your thinking muscles. The problem with that, it means simple, everyday tasks feel like a total drag. They're already solved problems. You end up with this been there, done that mentality so often that finding the next truly stimulating thing becomes an arduous chore.
Section 4, the pressure to succeed, a crushing burden. As we enter the final major struggle, we reach an emotional climax. Let's talk about the immense weight that all of this places squarely on your shoulders. To paraphrase Uncle Ben here, with great intelligence comes great expectation. Struggle number 8 is that you are always feeling pressured to succeed, and it is a massive, often crushing burden. So, the crucial point here is how this pressure actually manifests. It's usually indirect. It comes from friends and family casually saying things like, "So another 4.0 this semester, right?" Or "Drinks on you for being employee of the month again." They mean well, they really do. But every single time they say it, it adds just another brick to this massive mountain of pressure. Because a little part of your mind internalizes those comments and nudges you, constantly whispering, "This is your place. You need to be here, always." It builds this relentless internal voice that pushes you toward toxic perfectionism. You end up constantly trying to prove your intelligence, which honestly develops into a highly disproportionate, entirely unhealthy fear of failure. Section 5. Validating your unique journey. Finding empowerment. We've explored the isolation, the overthinking, the pressure. But as we transition to our final act here, I really want to offer some empowerment. There is a way forward out of the dark isolation. Being smart isn't always a piece of cake. Others might try to define you solely by your intelligence, looking at you and seeing simply a brain or just an IQ score. Many will never even try to get past that surface level. Some might even villainize you out of pure jealousy. And yeah, that can leave you feeling incredibly lonely, disconnected, and flattened into a one-dimensional character by society. But remember, you are a complete, complex person. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you for being exactly who you are. The truth is, others do not validate or create who you are. Only you do. You don't have to dumb yourself down for acceptance, and you certainly don't have to carry the crushing weight of everyone else's expectations. You simply have to find those rare people who truly reside in your sphere and give yourself the grace to exist just exactly as you are. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Now that you understand the unique struggles that come with